Before you knew it, Alfred's arm is almost completely sawed off. The tendons and muscles are the only thing left holding it together. But from the weight of you trying to pull Alfred away from them, you accidentally help rip the tendons and muscles in his arm. You then fall down the body chute with Alfred's ripped off hand. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning, my doll. You hear the man with the chainsaw yell to you and laugh. Falling down the body chute, you scream and cry at the top of your lungs. Cece, you're safe. You hear the faint voice calling out for you, but you cover your ears as if you didn't hear it. Feeling as if your whole body is breaking into sweats, you start breathing heavier, but feel as if you can't catch your breath. No. I'm here for you, Cece. Tell me what you need, dear. I don't trust you. Get away from me. You feel like screaming, but nothing comes out. Your body shakes rapidly and you try to hold yourself together. Feeling as if your heart is beating out of your chest, you try to stand up and get away. Where is Alfred? I understand that you're feeling overwhelmed. You feel a hand rub your back as you tried to calm yourself down, but the current condition you were in made it hard to quell your panic. Don't touch me! You cry, backing away from them and falling on the floor, unable to calm yourself down. Am I going to die? They're going to kill me next. The person rushes to be by your side on the floor. Could you tell me about what you're feeling? The calm voice says beside you. I feel scared. Scared of where Alfred is. What happened to him? What will happen to me next? I know what you're experiencing right now feels horrible, but this will pass. You will get through this, Cece. You're going to be okay. Before you could respond, you hear the person speak again in a soothing voice. Can we practice a grounding exercise together, Cece? Unable to even form words anymore, you nod frantically towards the person's words. Can you uncover your face for me, dear? The voice is so soothing, so honest and inviting. Something tells you not to reject the invitation. Except me. I'm telling you to reject the invitation. You listen to the person and uncover your face. As you place your hands on the chair you sat in, you feel a person grasp your hand gently beside you. Thank you, Cece. Can you tell me what 5 things you can touch? The sofa, my face, my clothing, the armchair, and my hair. Well done, Cece. You're doing great. The person beside you encourages you. What are 4 things you can hear? You listen closely to what is within your hearing distance. The air conditioning, you, cars outside, and the unit above. Great job, Cece. What are 3 things you can see in this room? Books, shelves, and pillows. You're doing so well, Cece. You feel as if you can breathe again and can feel yourself calming down. What are 2 things you can smell in this room? Rosemary and pistachios. Wonderful. Could you tell me 1 thing you can taste? You try to recall the taste that still lingers in your mouth from earlier. Leftover pizza rolls, although the taste is definitely not good as it was earlier. You've done amazing, Cece. Thank you. Why did the text change so much? You look around the room for a moment to register what exactly just happened, then to her. When you look at your side, you see her right up close beside you, already unnervingly staring at you. Her piercing gaze sends a chill up your spine. It is as if she had been watching you the whole time, without breaking contact. You were having a panic attack. Seems like I was having like a full PTSD episode. Then a panic attack feels a little light compared to what just happened, I feel like. You place a hand on your chest and droop your head to recall what you were experiencing. I thought I'd gotten over those. They hide within for some time, then present themselves the more you let free. This was somewhat expected, but no fear. Ophelia, your psychologist, tells you as she stands up and decides to return to her chair where her clipboard was. As she walks back over to her chair, she moves awfully quietly with elegance. After going back and forth with other psychiatrists giving referrals, you finally have gotten Ophelia, who is more than patient with you. Although, despite her unsettling demeanor and penchant for staring, she has been the only one that was willing to take you on as a patient and kept you. You almost had given up on psychiatrists until she came along. Before your panic attack, you told me about what you last remembered. Do you remember any specific details, like faces? You ponder her words for a moment, but the more you thought about it, the more it gave you a massive headache. You couldn't give an answer. I don't remember their faces. It's all like a blur to me. I see. Ophelia is in her mind for a moment while processing your words. Cece, trauma can, in some cases, distort our reality. It can cause us to see things that aren't necessarily real. Are you talking about, like, me seeing that I'm back in that place and, like, hallucinating that I'm back in that place? Or are you saying that my experience itself wasn't real? Because that would change my choice here. All right, let's get some clarification before we get defensive. What do you mean? What are you saying? What are you saying to me right now? You question her, confused by what she meant. When I first met you, you mentioned that you've remembered recalling violent acts throughout your life. Ophelia then leans up a little in her chair to adjust her seating position. After she does this, she crosses her legs and places her clipboard in her lap, her hands crossing elegantly across the clipboard. You mentioned that when you were younger, you were paranoid about being watched. Then, 1973, there was a cycle of violence that has started your PTSD. Upon living through this traumatic experience, you've become a homicide detective, where it can invite more traumatic experiences. This makes me think your trauma could be possibly distorting your reality, whereby your expectation causes you to see things that aren't there. Ophelia puts her pen down on her noteboard, lightly in her lap. Such as you believe people are watching you, which could be heightened paranoia from your childhood. The trauma where you're overwhelmed is intense. This is where your memories may become amplified and distorted. Yes, but that was real. It had to be. Yet you seem to recall this event months after Alfred's disappearance. I don't know how I can recall it now, but it was way too vivid to be in my mind. So she's saying that that whole thing didn't exist. Like, she's saying that everything that happened in the laboratory compound, I guess, wasn't real. Get fucked. Ophelia tilted her head to the side, being quiet for a moment, her gaze never wavering from you. Have you been taking your medicine, Cece? Have you been taking more than provided? It helps me think better. That is something you have made yourself to believe. There are side effects of overdosing on your medicine, Cece. How is your sleep? I can't. Not without having nightmares or seeing things that aren't there. What do you see? Ophelia questions you, tilting her head slightly. You pace around the room and try to move your hands in a motion as you speak to help your mind describe it to her. I see shadows outside my apartment, inside my apartment, noises coming from my apartment. I don't even feel safe in my bed anymore. Ever since Alfred has been gone, it's all gotten worse. He seemed like a great emotional support for you. He was. You look away, unable to face her. Alfred was the one thing that kept you grounded. But now that he's gone, I don't even feel like the apartment is home anymore. It's just nothing. Have you ever considered that your job could be affecting your mental health? You laugh at her words and turn back to her as you lean on a sofa. I know that's a huge factor, but it's not like if I quit now I'd get better. You tell yourself that to convince yourself otherwise without giving it much thought. There's no reason to quit when Alfred is still out there. Ophelia picks up her pen again and jots down more in the notes before proceeding. Have you gotten any more calls? Your eyes widen. You totally forgot about the calls you've been receiving since Alfred's disappearance. Ever since turning it in to the police, they were all untraceable calls and not much was done about them. Alfred's tongue was cut out, though. You ponder as you put more thought into it. Could it still be possible? Something on your mind? I haven't received one for a week or so. Getting up from leaning on the sofa, you walk back to the chair in front of her and sit down. Even so, Alfred's tongue was cut out. I remember that precisely. You tell Ophelia as you motion your hands in front of you to her. There's no way. Could have pre-recorded them before the incident, perhaps. That could have been possible. I was asleep for some time. You're quiet for a moment, left to your thoughts, but the suggestion of your mind distorting reality bothered you. I truly don't believe, though, that my mind was distorting Mrs. Grimm. It was too real. Who's Mrs. Grimm? And this has been the only time you've recalled this memory? Yes, I've had nightmares with fragments of similar likening, but this is the only time I've remembered this. I see. Ophelia then sits up from her chair and moves awfully quietly to a cabinet to grab something out of it. Here's more of your medication, although I highly recommend you don't overdo it or not take them, as it could cause side effects that will halt your progress. Ophelia grabs your prescription medication from the cabinet in the corner of the room, shutting the cabinet door afterwards. She then swiftly walks up to you, making you stand up, as this would be a close to the session today. As you stood up, you remembered once again how she towered over you with her height. She had to have been at least 7 feet tall. Okay. Ophelia then hands you the medication, extending her hand towards you. As you take the medication, her slender fingers glide over the palm of your hand for a moment before retracting it to her side. Remember to take it as recommended, Cece. Ophelia always has an odd aura about her, but the more you know her with each session, the more you got used to it. Even her sessions were cash up front and seemed undocumented with the government. It is very sketchy and illegal, but that's not exactly your job, as it would give you more work to do, so you didn't really bother. I like it that this would literally be our job as a cop, but it's paperwork. Got it. Until our next session. If you ever have episodes, I want you to practice the grounding techniques. I also would like you to take time from your busy life to have moments of rest and practice what we discussed on mindfulness. I can do that. Thanks for taking me as a last-minute patient this late at night. I hope it didn't deviate much from your schedule. Ophelia gives an unnerving smile to you for your response. No worries, Cece. You are always welcome here. Ophelia says with bated breath as she looks down at you. You nod to her and take your leave, but before you leave the office, you hear Ophelia turn to speak to you once again.
Fais attention en rentrant chez toi.
Oh yeah, I would have butchered that so hard.
Fais attention en rentrant chez toi.
Be careful when going home. Okay. Ophelia tells you, making you turn around. Fucking hot-ass murderer. Ophelia chuckles lightly and folds her hands in front of her. Her eyes lower to you, and she smiles an eerie smile. Given all the recent murder cases you've been investigating in the city, it was very dangerous nowadays, so you believe she is looking out for your well-being. That's definitely what it is, for sure. As unnerving as she was, with how long you've known her being your psychiatrist, you've grown to know she's just eccentric. Or playing the long game. You too, be safe out there. There's no need to worry, dear. None at all. You wave Ophelia off and walk outside her office to find... Okay, I've heard 2 ways to pronounce this. Calliope and Calliope.
Calliope.
And of course it would be neither of them. You wave Ophelia off and walk outside her office to find Calliope. I knew that. I knew exactly how to pronounce that from the beginning. Hey, hi. Hello. Okay. She seems fun. she says as she opens her car door for you. The music from her car was blasting. The sound is deafening, but you get used to it. You hop in the car as she hops in the driver's seat. Calliope then turns down the music as you both get in the car. Calliope? You ask, peeking your head in the window, as the car she has is completely brand new. Yes, fashionista, rinker, lover of mango bellinis and parties. What does rinker mean? And why are her feet up like that? How are your feet like that? How do you fit with your feet? I'm asking too many questions. Calliope sarcastically talks, smiling. It's the one and only, yes. Calliope then winks towards you as you get in the car. So? Calliope then leans over in her seat into the middle compartment, with both elbows laying on it as the palms of her hands cupped her face. What you doing here? Calliope curiously asks. Just another chat. You tell Calliope, trying to be vague and enjoy the mood. Before Calliope can respond with a wild theory of hers, you chime in. I'm not really feeling the mood to party tonight, but I wouldn't mind if we hung out at my place. You chime in as a suggestion. You aren't really in the mood to party right after the session. You just want to relax and hang. We will be in a public area where you'll feel safe. I'll be with you to protect you, too. Calliope tells you with a wink and a smile. You keep thinking about it, but you were still unsure. You didn't want to go to the party, but also you didn't want to be alone tonight. Your mind will just be more focused on the bad stuff if we go home now. I want to help you get your mind off of it, distract you from it all for a night. She says with a softer, caring voice as she tilts her head slightly. Silent for a few moments, you sigh and shake your head with a light smile towards her. Calliope giggles upon seeing your smile and gives you a determined nod. She's right. Maybe it'll be better than sitting at home. You think to yourself as you nod towards her back, trying to prepare for the night ahead. What crazy plan do you have for tonight's outing? You smirk at her and lean onto the back of the passenger seat. Calliope winks and giggles as she kicks her legs lightly like a schoolgirl with her crush. How does she fit? What kind of fucking contortionist shit is she pulling off right now? You'll see. Calliope winks at you as she sits up straight in the driver's position and holds the wheel, getting the car ready. I don't know how to feel about your response. You both smile as she starts the car and pulls out of the parking space. What's there to be worried about? Just a serial killer. That's all. She beams. You chuckle at her response and tap your index finger on the side door, listening to the tunes. Calliope is always there for you and has been a great friend. Calliope will lend an ear whenever and is sweet, but she's also definitely the one you can have a great time at a party with, too. So, you look around in the new car you've never seen her drive or own before. Yes? Calliope, did you wreck your last car? Okay, that guy ran into me. Calliope. He did. And? Fine. He was parking in my parking spot, and I gently pushed his car out of the way with my car. Calliope says, gesturing with one of her hands. Gently? Yes. Calliope, why did you ram his car? As Calliope is driving, you see her speed past a red light and the speed meter not within city limits. Because he was parking in my parking space, and since he wouldn't move his car, I just helped him out is all. The motherfucker shouldn't have been there in the first place. Calliope, why not just get someone to tow him? Also, oh my gosh, slow down. You tell her as you see her run another light, making you jump up. As reckless as she was driving, you still couldn't get used to it. My methods are more effective. She beams as she takes the cassette tape out of the car. Also, we're almost there anyways. No biggie. Calliope exclaims as she waves her hand gently in your direction. Afterwards, she digs her hands through the middle compartment, trying to look through the cassette tapes. You reach and grab the wheel as she started drifting off the road a little bit. Calliope, focus on the road. I gotta find my tunes. Calliope then lets go of the wheel as she sees you have one hand on it to dig for a certain song she has in mind. You then place both hands on the wheel and drive for her. Calliope! Frantically, you look around the street, hoping no police were nearby. Just wait, Cece. I've got a good song in mind for us to listen to. Calliope digs for a few more moments before finding the right cassette tape and putting it in the player. See? All worth it. Calliope exclaims as she grabs the wheel again and jams out to the tunes in the car. Calliope, can we please slow down? We're almost there, though. It's not like police patrol this road anyways. And how do you know that? You ask her, raising a brow towards her. Because I race all the time down this road. Trust me. Calliope, just... why? You then place the palm of your hand on your forehead and shake your head, sighing. Calliope leans over near you and tilts her head to look at you for a moment. Second-hand driver alert. Is that what's happening? Or am I being a more scared for my life passenger? She jokes as she sticks her tongue out at you playfully. You then nudge her away and make her face directly towards the road. It's hard not to with the way you drive. You both laugh as you readjust in your seat and hold on to the passenger door. Before you both know it, you both have arrived from how fast Calliope drove. We're here. She beams excitedly. Can you be a doll and grab my purse in the back? You sigh, but then proceed to chuckle at her response as you lean in the back seat to find her purse. Once you find and pick up her huge purse, it feels as if bricks are in it and making it hard to lift over the seat to her. Fine, but please start emptying your purse. You've got to have everything you need in there by now. You grunt, trying with all your strength to carry it and hand it to her. Calliope chuckles at your response as she readjusts her jewelry in the meantime. Can't promise that, but thank you, sugar. She winks as she grabs the purse from you effortlessly with no sweat, as if it only weighed a feather to her. I'm almost ready. Let me reapply my makeup. Calliope then digs through her purse for a few moments before finding her makeup kit and reapplying it. You wait a few moments until she finishes her makeup. Calliope throws her makeup back in her purse and swings the purse over her shoulder. Afterwards, she slams open the car door and steps out. Finally! You step out of the car with her and walk into the pink building. The rink is booming for late at night. The couples and friends groups are very upbeat and slide fast around the rink as others glide slowly, showing off their moves. Oh, that's what she meant by rinker, like a skating rink. Okay. The music is loud and the rink is basically just a nightclub for adults. It feels just like a huge nightclub in the rink. That is one of your favorite things about visiting. Both of you walk up to the receptionist desk and wait in line to get skates. You smile at the upbeat atmosphere around you while you both wait. It was a nice change of pace. It kept your mind off of everything, which was rare. Cece. What's up? Calliope then reaches in her purse and gets near you to show you the inside of her bag. When you look in her purse, you see an alcohol shot. I forgot I have a spare in my purse. Want to share one with me? Calliope whispers to you, nudging your shoulder and giggling. You laugh and shake your head. No, thank you. Someone has to be sober. Okay, well, it's cheaper than buying one here. I'm going to go to the bathroom to shoot it. Calliope then digs through her purse for a moment before handing you her credit card. Use that to pay for our admission. I'll be right back. That's not even going to get you buzzed, much less drunk. You tell her, rolling your eyes. A drink is a drink. She beams as she smiles and waves you off, skipping into the women's restroom. Laughing, you shake your head and stand in line. Calliope has been your best friend for a few years, and ever since you both met, you clicked. She is always there for you and helps you get your mind off your stressful work easily. You smile and chuckle, thinking about it. Even though she was somewhat wild, she is a great friend. Tapping your foot, you patiently wait in line. You look up to see a very vibrant woman skate in front of you and stop herself in her tracks with her roller skates. Earth to Cece, you there? I just went to freshen up and you're literally dazing off already? Why aren't you on the roller rink yet, sugar? You look around to see you're already sitting down with the skates in your arms, waiting. I guess I just lost track of time. You say to yourself slowly, confused. You assess your surroundings for a moment, like a lost puppy, before looking back at Calliope. Cece. Calliope says slowly, like a worried mother. You okay? We can go if you feel unwell. No, I'm fine. Waving and smiling her words off, you try to pull through whatever just happened. It's okay. You thought to yourself as you still couldn't see or remember any of the faces, except Alfred's. Okay, but let me know if you're not feeling okay or I'm going to have to go mama bear mode. Calliope said, putting her hand on her hips, bending her hip and smirking towards you. Chuckling at her words, you pat the seat beside you. Just get over here so I can whoop your butt on the rink. You try to laugh it off and take off your shoes. Oh ho, is that so? Calliope rolls her eyes sarcastically. How daring, sounds like a challenge to me. Calliope laughs giddily as she puts her hand on her hips, bending her hip and smirking towards you. You then hand her a pair of skates. Afterwards, you tie your laces. Both of you chuckle together as she helps you up after putting on your skates. You lean on her for a moment as she helps you get your footing right before you both decide to hop on the rink. Calliope always helped get your mind off of your stressful work easily. Calliope is an amazing soul that would help anyone. She was definitely the mom friend of any group. Calliope holds your hand to help you skate as you both glide around the skating rink. You weren't very good at it, but since Calliope is an expert in roller rink skating, she always helps you try to learn. Although the inevitable at the roller rink was always you falling on your butt multiple times and it being bruised the next day. You're doing great. Calliope encourages you as you both slowly glide across the rink. You laugh alongside her with a smile and try to turn the corner of the rink, but a group of people sliding past you fast in front of you catches you off guard, making you run into the wall, unable to turn the corner in time, falling onto the ground, hard. You fall straight onto the floor afterwards. The other person didn't trip but kept skating and seems annoyed you were in the way. How fucking dare I be trying to enjoy myself? Get off the rink if you can't keep up. You're in a skating rink, my guy. Like, calm down. What the hell is your problem, motherfucker? Calliope states loudly to the group. Angered, the group directed their attention towards her, slightly surprised she scolded them. You winced in pain as your butt and arms hurt a lot from trying to catch yourself on the ground. Calliope quickly glides to you, kneeling down to help you up. The group glides back to you guys, as if they are ready to start something. As you get up, you hear them trying to start a fight with you guys. Calliope is easy to anger, and you can see the blood already pumping through her veins. What should you do? Both options are so different. Should I do nothing or should I just do nothing? Guess we'll just do nothing. You don't say anything, but hope Calliope won't let it get to her. She pauses for a moment before looking over to you innocently. Why don't we go get you freshened up? Calliope says in an attempt and excuse to calm herself. Sure, yeah, let's go. Calliope turns towards you for a moment and guides you back to the family restroom, grabbing her purse on the way, while the group makes snarky comments. Looking over to Calliope, you see she's penting up her rage for them. As you both enter the empty family restroom, you see her reach to adjust the collar of your shirt. You see she's trying to contain her emotions to make sure you're okay. It was very sweet of her, but you hope she'd let it go. Your clothes are a little shooken up. You need anything else to freshen up in the meantime, sugar? Calliope questions as she reaches into her purse and opens it for you to see if you need anything. No, thank you. I'm okay. Got it. I'll wait outside. If you need anything else, just come get me. Calliope gives you a gentle smile as she walks out of the restroom, leaving you to your thoughts. You splash water on your face in an attempt to wake up, to try to snap out of the group, ruining your guys' mood. What assholes. you thought as you take a deep breath and sigh in order to let it go. You decide to take a few minutes to yourself to contemplate before stepping out of the restroom. As you step out of the restroom, you go to the rink to see everyone's attention directed to outside. Yeah, she is absolutely fighting those guys out at the front, probably using her purse as a weapon. Calliope? You say as you look around the rink to see her nowhere in sight. Seeing everyone's attention averted to outside, you go outside to see what the commotion is about. As you walk outside, you see Calliope making a commotion. Look what you've done, motherfucker! This is all your fault! You started it! The leader of the group that caused you to run into the wall just a few minutes ago yells at her. Oh my God, I came here for a good time. And I'm just feeling so attacked right now. This is all your guys' fault. My fault? You're the one that threw the punch. You're fucking insane. How could you? Do you even care how I feel? Looking at Calliope, she seems unscathed while the group seems to have taken all the damage. I'm so sick of your shit. You're fucking crazy. You're sick of me? You're sick of me? She's just going off. Bitch, your nice fucking dirty ass crusty what? Dress, bitch, you don't say that to me. I'll cut your fucking insides into outsides, bitch. You want to fucking throw down, motherfucker? Swing on me, motherfucker. Hit me, you little bitch. Hit me, you little shit. Calliope, please. You try to calm her down, although you know your efforts are pointless. You both see the officer get out of his car. Oh, hi, Officer Hawthorne. Calliope strikes a pose and moans towards him, making everyone uncomfortable. Good Lord, what did you do now, Calliope? She's fucking crazy. She started throwing punches at us. Psh, what? I would never do such a thing. Calliope laughs it off. Calliope, I really don't think... Cece, shut the hell up. I got this. Calliope whispers to you quickly. If anything, walking around in those outfits is a crime in itself. Calliope, you know I'm going to have to arrest you. Again. It's like the 4th time this week. I don't think that's really necessary, Officer Hawthorne. This is all just a big misunderstanding. That's what you said last time. Just arrest her ass. No one asked you for your fucking input, you crypt-keeping, howling bitch. Kiss my ass. Okay, put your hands behind your back, Calliope. You wish, bitch. The officer puts Calliope's hands behind her back himself and puts handcuffs on her. Oh ho ho, officer, you know I like it rough. She moans and throws him a wink and smirks back. Calliope, please, just don't. Oh my God, Hawthorne, now they're turning this against me. I can't believe this. I was just trying to be a good Samaritan and help this poor person with their fashion deficiency and poor attitude, but they just went crazy. Good Lord, Calliope, please. You facepalm at her attempt to try to not get arrested, but she does this every time. You can't beat up people, Calliope. I'm still going to have to arrest you, and the others. The officer says as he puts her in the back of the police car. Well, Officer Hawthorne... I was never Mirandized. I never told my rights. I never told I was being detained. This is a false fucking arrest. I call bullshit. The officer shuts the door on her while she's speaking, and you can hear her yelling from inside the car. You and the officer look to each other. Do you know this woman? What does it mean, avenge? Do I just, start attacking the officer? I'm curious. What happens? You run up to the officer's car to open the door and let Calliope out. Run, Calliope! Fuck yeah, Cece! Calliope darts out the door and you both try to run away, but the officer darts after the slowest one, which was you. He grabs your arms and yanks you back to stop you from running before pinning you down on the ground. Hands behind your back, Cece. He was quicker than you realized at catching up to you, taking you aback. You realize you can't fight his strength and do as you're told, although you found out quickly you didn't mind being handcuffed by him at all. Calliope quickly gets caught by another officer, and as you're both handcuffed next to each other, you lean over to her. I see your vision. I'm telling you, I'm jealous you got arrested by him. You both get put in separate police cars and get driven to the station. I mean, you lost your job, definitely, but at least you avenged her and got arrested by a hot officer, right? Was it really all worth it? Oh no! All right, fine, we won't avenge her, I guess. Yes, I do, officer, she's my friend. I have to get a female police officer over here to search her, then to arrest the other people. I'll leave it up to the other officer. Oh, well, I'm guessing she's not getting out tonight. Most likely not. You sigh and rub your eyes for a moment before walking over to the police door and talking to her through there. Calliope, what the hell? They wrecked my shit and now I'm getting blamed for it. Calliope, is your purse with you? This is bullshit! What kind of favoritism is this? Calliope, it's most likely the alcohol in your body talking to you. Now, where's your purse? His ass took it! She yells, looking at the officer. Well, I'm sure he'll give it back after you're released. If you get released. You stand up as Calliope keeps yelling in the car to the other people she got in a fight with, as Officer Hawthorne detains them too. As much as you want to bail her out right now, the cops don't look like they'd budge, especially since she beat those guys up. I'll come get you at the station. What happened? Well, it seems she got into a heated altercation with this group that led them getting into a fight. Good Lord, you say, grunting and shaking your head. She didn't do anything else. She busted their engine and threw objects at their car as well. That's my girl. Good gosh, Calliope. You feel like face-palming for a moment, but decide not to and just let out a sigh. What will happen to her car? Her car will be impounded. She'll be able to pick up the car when she pays any outstanding fees and fines that are due. Damn it. Wait, I got identification. You reach into your pocket to get your ID, but as you feel your pocket, it's empty. Surprised, you reach into your other pockets to check if you misplaced it. I had it on me, I swear. You thought trying to think of what to do as now the police continue to gather information from both sides. I must have misplaced my ID. I'll meet you guys up at the station. I mean, I can't let her go even with an ID. He chuckles dryly. Yeah, but don't you need it for a report? Not your name, unless you were involved in the altercation or saw something. You shrug, sighing. Well, I still need it now that I have to head your way. You groan as the policeman weakly smiles. Wait, haven't I seen your face before? You ask the police officer. At the station, perhaps? Oh my God, this belt is too fucking tight, Officer Hawthorne. Are you going to do nothing? You both hear Calliope yell from the car. Hold on, I'll come to you in a moment. Ooh, you're coming. Hands down, my favorite character. She's amazing. She says in an overly flirty tone. I've arrested her before. My condolences. He snickers before going to the car and dealing with Calliope. Go back inside and recount your footsteps, as well as ask the person at the counter for a lost and found. Where did I drop it? Why didn't I give the report of the fact that they slammed me into a fucking wall, and that's why she started the fight in the first place? Like, I feel like that would at least help her a little bit. Like, this wasn't unprovoked. They fucking body slammed me into a wall and I fell. You ponder after searching everywhere in the rink. You try to recall the last places you've been, to where your ID could have fell before. Ophelia's. Pulling out your phone, you try to call Ophelia to ask if you left your ID there. All that comes back is a voicemail. Dang it. You decide to go ahead and call a cab to come pick you up so you can get down to Ophelia's office to see if she's still there. After a long cab ride back to Ophelia's office, you look up to the second floor to see her lights off. You stretch your limbs before heading in as the cab felt very cramped. As you walk up the stairs to the second floor, the whole building is silent. The only thing you can hear is the air conditioner running outside. After opening the stairwell doors, you look in the distance to find Ophelia's office door closed. You try shaking the handle, but find that it's locked. I should have expected that. You ponder to yourself for a moment as you stand in front of her door. Reaching in your jacket pocket, you pull out a paperclip. I'm gonna fucking break in? What kind of fucking cop am I? Pretty run-of-the-mill one, it seems. Even though you worked with the law and it could be considered breaking and entering, you were sure Henry would have your back if you were caught. Hey, what do you think you're doing? You jolt up startled and turn around to face him. You don't know what to say in the moment and try to motion with your hands to your words, but you end up failing. Terribly. Well, sounds about right for law enforcement to be getting away with the own laws they're supposed to enforce. He smirks and chuckles, giving you an eerie look. I just came to get my badges off, but her office is locked. You say, gesturing to the door. He gives you a smirk and laughs before unlocking the door for you. Go ahead, get your badge. He smiles uncannily towards you. Thanks. You say, unsure, as you quickly go to get your badge and return right back out the door. Do you perhaps know where my wife Ophelia is? Do you happen to know where my fiancé Alfred is? Because you kind of look like one of the dudes in there. She left some time ago with someone else. You tell him quickly, wanting to not initiate conversation with him or get in the middle of things. Do you know who she left with? Do I? I don't remember her leaving with anyone at all. Sure, yeah. Some greasy dude with black hair. Ah, I see. Thank you, detective. He pauses for a brief moment. I appreciate your honesty. I rarely ever offer, but to repay you, if you ever need any information, feel free to visit Ocean's Paradise and ask for me. He extends his business card out to you gently. You take the business card and place it in your jacket pocket. Quick question. How did you know I'm with law enforcement? Who doesn't know who you are? He smirks, chuckling quietly to himself. Before you could say anything, he spoke up. I will act like I saw nothing. Have a good night, detective. He says as he walks away quietly down the stairs, waving you off without facing you. That was weird. You walk out of the office building a minute later and decide to walk towards the station. You walk down the street for a while, trying to just escape from reality before arriving at the station. As you walk, you see a drunk man sitting in the corner of the street. You try to mind your own business and continue walking. Wait. You look back to the drunk man, not knowing if he was talking to you. Yes? Well? He asks, looking at you, then up and down at himself before returning his gaze to you. Sir, you might have me mistaken for someone else. You tell him up front, knowing full well he is drunk as the stench of alcohol came off of him. He chuckles dryly as he shakes his head. It's me, Bernard. Oh, Bernard, of course. Of course. He chuckles breathlessly to himself. Come on, we talked all the time. He continues chuckling to himself as if it is the only thing holding him together. I should have figured. There was a long pause, and you were about to walk away before he continued talking. You don't remember me. Do you? He tilts his head as if pleading for you to know him. He shakes his head sadly as he takes a swig of his flask. What am I even thinking? I know you just see me as another drunk. He chuckles dryly before looking down at the ground. Mary, Benjamin, Alfred, Christopher, Edward. Alfred? You shake uncontrollably as you had these faded, what felt like memories, flash through your mind. Your breathing got heavy as you try to control yourself, but you're unable to. What the hell? You thought to yourself as you looked to see the drunk man not there anymore. What? You breathe heavily, unable to calm down as you shake violently and hold yourself to attempt to comfort yourself. No, I need to leave. You tell yourself suddenly as you dart all the way to the station. That's it. Well, that was fucking brutal. I'm excited for the next chapter, though. I'm interested to see why Alfred was being targeted in this. Like, what did he do? He seemed way too nice to not secretly also be a serial killer. If you don't already have a friend like Calliope, fucking get one. And I will see you later.